Hey guys, okay, so earlier today I went and saw the movie Game Night with Jason Bateman and Rachel McAdams, etc. And for those of you who don't really know what this is, Game Night is about Jason Bateman, whose brother comes to town, and he's very Jason Bateman and his wife are super competitive, and they're trying to have a baby, and they can't really because Jason Bateman is just like super stressed all the time because he's so competitive. And his brother comes into town, his older brother, who he feels very inferior to. And so it just causes all this stress, and it's like Jason Bateman just wants to beat him. He just wants to beat him once. And so his brother hosts a game night, and it's supposed to be like a murder mystery party, except it takes a wrong turn and it's actually a crime that's happening, except the characters don't know it until a little later on into the movie. It was fun. It was a fun ride. Like I said in the pre-show, I love Jason Bateman. I will go and see just about anything because Jason Bateman's in it. I like humor when the star is like the straight man versus people that are just ridiculous. I like humor where people just don't understand what's happening, and so this is like my ideal humor in this film. I love all the characters except for they have one friend in this who the joke is that he's dumb. He's dumb, and that's why it's funny, because he's dumb. And I hate jokes like that so much because it's so lazy. It's just an easy laugh, and I hate when humor is that lazy. I will say, sometimes if something is dumb enough, I will get a kick out of it, but when it's good writing and then just this stupid ass character thrown in, I will hate it. That's because all the other characters were fine. Jason Bateman was great. Rachel McAdams was great. The other couple, they had this argument that I wasn't super into, but the rest of it, they had really great chemistry. They had great interactions, not only as a couple, but as friends. I don't know her name, but the woman that the dumb friend brings, I've seen her in the movie Man Up. I think I've seen her in other things, but that's always what I remember her from. I like her. I've always liked her in things that I've seen. She was good in this movie too because she wasn't having any of the other guys' BS. And so it was good. They have one other character that I love in this movie was they've got this neighbor. You see him in the trailer. His name is Gary, and he's a police officer whose wife has left him. And he's got this little, it's not a Westie. I'm not quite sure what it is. He's got this little white dog that he carries around with him everywhere that he's kind of not really obsessed with, but he's got like a really close relationship with his dog, and he's super creepy, and like they're trying to avoid him this entire movie because he's just a creep, especially like after his wife left him. He's just gotten creepier, and he's just a fun character. He looks like Matt Damon and Will Poulter had a baby, and the baby was slightly albino and crazier than Will Poulter's eyebrows. Just the funniest little like uncomfortable character that he makes you so uncomfortable that you can't help but laugh. Like, he invites them to dinner at one point in this movie, and everything he says is just like, ugh, stop it. I don't know why. I think I really enjoy that kind of humor as well. It's just dumb. And the shenanigans that they get into in this movie are so dumb, and I loved it. It was so good. I don't even know, like, I'm so mad that I saw this before I saw Red Sparrow, because now Red Sparrow has just taken all my fun energy out of me. But gosh, it's like, what is his name? Jason Bateman's brother. It's something Chandler. I can't think. But he is like this hot shot. He works in Europe, and he's got everything that Jason Bateman wants, and Jason Bateman's never won against him in a game. Every time they play a game, his brother wins. Like, in anything that they do, his brother wins. Jason Bateman's ideal car, I can't remember what it's called, but his brother shows up in that car. It's just everything that Jason Bateman wants in life, aside from, you know, what he's got. Everything that he wants is something that his brother has. And there's this kind of, like I mentioned before, this discussion of Jason Bateman and Rachel McAdams having a baby. And that was a part of this movie that I really enjoyed, because it's this discussion of, you know, are we grown up, or are we still stuck in the past where we're really concerned about, you know, what do I have? What do I have? I've got all this stuff that I need to do, or that I'm going to do. But at a certain point, you know, at our age, are we really going to still do all this stuff, or are we going to settle down and have a baby? And I'm not doing that conversation any justice, but when they talk about it in this movie, I think it is a really good theme to cover, because the way that they cover it, it's really interesting, and it's sort of done in a manner that I hadn't really considered before, but all the points that she makes, I think, are valid and good points. The turns and twists in this movie, aside from the one that you know going in, the twists in this movie surprised me. I was surprised by the big twist. I was very happy. I was happy surprised by the turn in this movie. There's just so many good things that happen in this movie, and there's so few bad things that happen in this movie that it's just, I don't want to like spoil too much, and I don't want to go into too much, because if you guys haven't seen it yet and you're going to go see it, I don't want to spoil any jokes. So I'm just going to leave it there. I really, really enjoyed it. I'll give this like a 95%, because like I really needed this laugh after a bunch of the comedies that I've seen lately. It was great. I had a great time. It was my perfect brand of humor. So this movie really did it for me, and I had a great time. So if you guys went and saw this movie, what did you think? If you liked it, please leave comments below, or if you didn't like it, I would also like to hear your opinion on that. If you did like it, please give me a thumbs up, and if you'd like to continue getting updated as I or Taylor and I add videos to the channel, please hit the subscribe button so that you can get updates. So Taylor and I are gonna go see I, Tonya tomorrow, unless something happens and she can't go, in which case I'll probably go see it by myself. So I'm super excited to see that, and I am hoping that I'll see you guys when I come back tomorrow. Bye.